Good morning, everyone in the Pill Method Club. Listen, folks, this is episode 20. Can you believe it? This is episode 24 of how to pay off mortgages in 7 years. And in these 24 episodes, we've talked about more than mortgages. We've talked about student loans. We've talked about credit cards. We've talked about car loans. We've talked about all types of loans. We've talked about lending. We've talked about how you can purchase properties. We talked about how to refinance them. We've talked about so many different ways to use lending to your benefit, and how the traditional way we're paying 75% more interest than we need to. And folks, what you're learning is that you do not have to. The way to approach debt is to borrow your money at a discount. We're the only game in town, in the world even, that talks about borrowing money at a severe discount, not looking at the interest rate, but manipulating the bank's timing so that you can legally and officially pay them 75% less, no matter what the interest rate is. Don't worry about the interest rate. We're going to focus on the interest cost. I'm glad to be here this morning, and we're going to turn it over to our moderator, Jared. You're in the house. Talk to us this morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Really excited to see all of you in the audience. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. You are in for a treat. This is how to pay off mortgages in 7 years. That is not a clickbait title. That is real life. This is what Don really does. 30-year mortgages. He has a method called the P.I.L.L method, which will show you how to pay that off in 7 to 10 years by paying off the right amount of paying off the right amount to get the most interest cost saved. So if you're in the clubhouse room, love for you to go to the greenhouse at the top, click that, make sure to follow the club, and then also go to the about section where it lets you know what P.I.L.L method stands for. And it'll give you just a quick little description of what this room's all about. When you read that description, if it applies to you, which it should, because everybody in here should have student loan debt, car loan debt, credit card debt, or a mortgage, feel free to raise your hand and come up and ask questions. The more questions you ask, the more benefit you get personally, but not only that, but everybody in the room benefits from the answer and the example that Don will give you. All right. And so this is also a room that you want to share with your friends, family, etc., because this is really going to change the trajectory of their 2022. Like, this is literally a shifting type of room if they've never heard this information. So make sure to click that plus sign at the bottom. Invite as many people in the room as you can. And if you're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, retweet on Twitter. Click the share option on Facebook and YouTube. And let's get as many people in this room and each one teach one and get this information out there. Lastly, there's on Clubhouse, at the lower left-hand corner, there's a little circular arrow. That's what we call basically a reshare, all right, for your hallway. As Don drops gems, we'd love for you to click that and share something that you learned or a reaction, etc. I'll move this up the hallway so more people can see the room. I'm going to be doing that in a second. All right. So with that being said, what we're going to do is go through some quick introductions of the mods on stage, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into the content. So again, make sure you click that plus sign, invite people in the room. And we're really excited to answer your questions. And if you're on the streaming platforms, make sure to type in your questions in the chat. And my man Kirk will let you know that you have a question, and we will answer it as well. So it's not just about interacting with Clubhouse. We want to interact with all of you that are streaming this on whatever platform you're joining us on today. All right. So before we get into the intros, though, Don, I would love for you just to kind of break down like who you are and what is the P.I.L.L method and what are people getting out of today's room.
Gladly, I would be glad to do that, Jared. Thank you all for being here, and all the moderators on the stage, and everyone that is in the P.I.L.L Method Club. Thank you very much for being here. Not only on the club that you're here in Clubhouse, but some of you are actually watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Listen, share this content with everyone you know, with your entire with the entire people that amount of people that follow you. Go ahead and share this information. They're going to get some really good information. And guess what? This information you're not going to pay a penny for today. So listen, folks. And if you're in Clubhouse, that those circular those arrows in the lower left hand corner, that is something you can do for free as well. You can share it to the Clubhouse streets. Everyone should be pinging that. We've had one person click that once. So listen, I'm going to ask you right now, stop what you're doing, think about it, click that little arrow, and you can share it to the Clubhouse hallway so more and more people can see this. It's very easy. And so you just click it and then it's done. So let's see the numbers mount up there. Yes, I see it coming up now. I see someone else has done it. Come on, let me get some more people hitting that arrow to share it to the Clubhouse streets. Listen, folks, thank you so very much. I'm your interest cancellation expert. I'm Don Daniel, and I've been doing this for 17 years now, telling people how they can save money on interest. You do not have to pay all of that interest. We can disrupt the bank's timing, focus on interest cost, not just interest rate, and cut our cost drastically, sometimes by as much as 75% or more. Therefore, you can pay off all of your debt, not just the mortgage, but the mortgage, the student loans, the car loans, and the credit cards, everything in an average of 7 to 9 years. And then take the interest savings and then invest those savings into your family's generational wealth. We're saving on average $150,000 in interest you don't have to pay. Did you realize, Jared, that the average family will pay in excess of $300,000 in interest in their lifetimes? In excess, 300,000. Do you know what that money would do if invested in compound interest instead of giving it to the bank? That means the average family can become a millionaire family by using that money that used to go to the bank and invest it in themselves. That's what we're going to be talking about today, folks. So if you're about to buy a mortgage, if you're about to refi, if you're about to get into real estate investing, if you're starting a business, whatever you're doing financially, you can do it more efficiently and cheaper using somebody else's money, borrowing it at a discount. We're going to talk about how we're going to do that today. Back to you, Jared.
Awesome, awesome. So if that doesn't inspire you to come up on stage and ask a question or put a question in the chat, I don't know what will, but hopefully closed mouths don't get fed and you come on stage. This room is for 2 hours and it never fails. You're going to see Don break down interest costs and calculators and amortization schedules, and you're going to raise your hand in the last 20 minutes and you'll be one of 5 or 6 people. We may not be able to get to you. So I highly recommend you get on stage early, you ask your questions early so that you can take advantage of this free masterclass that Don's going to give you for the next 2 hours. All right. So my name is Jared. I've been in the tech space for over 15 years. My goal is increasing diversity in tech by helping people break into tech. And not only that, I partner with the 10X Incubator and Grant Cardone to help fund startups, especially startups of color, women, etc. So if you'd like to tap in with me, learn more about what I do, you can go to my 10K card, jarrett10k.com. That's JARRETT10k.com. And you can check out all my links. All right, up next is the Y CEO.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday or happy hump day. I'm in the middle of the week. I hope you're ready for the rest. I'm Tiffany, the Y CEO, and I'm an executive coach, financial freedom advocate. I changed the law at the Supreme Court level in the great state of Ohio. I'm also a 3-time award-winning philanthropist. I've done a lot in the community and also in DC. I run multiple businesses, and I'm so happy to be here. And I just want to send a shout out to Kenyatta. Thank you so much for coming through the room yesterday, guys. If you aren't following us, follow us because we had over 500 people in a powerhouse room. Even Bishop T.D. Jakes, one of his stellar star singers, came through and blessed us, and John Eckhart with a prayer. Guys, we're doing some amazing work here on Clubhouse. Thank you all so much for joining us, for those of you who could.
Awesome. I'm sad I missed that, but hopefully I can watch in the replays. All right. Up next is the man, the myth, the legend, 10K cards.
Super good morning, family. Guys, this room is focused on one thing only. Helping the clients pay off their mortgage in 7 to 9 years. And I spent the day with Don yesterday. We checked out his office. Me and my beautiful wife spent the day at his home with him and his wife. And let me tell you something, guys. This guy is the real deal, and he's very passionate about helping individuals. So as this time comes upon us, let's be very laser focused. Take as much notes as you can, because the one thing I learned from Don is anyone can pay off their mortgage early, but he helped you to maximize on the dollar saved. So if you pay off early, yeah, you can save $2, $3. But his goal is to show you how to save the maximum amount on your dollar spent. And I want you guys to go laser focus on that question throughout this presentation, and let's capture the magic. Every time you get a copy of Don's book, guys, be sure to fill out the savings and earnings report and also claim your free digital card. The reason we give a free digital card to every client, because once you become wiser and you're ready to hit the streets with your business and basically serve clients at a wide level, we want to make it easy for you. And that's what the 10K card will do for you. So with that said, Jared, off to you. I'll be in and out. Bye.
All right. Up next is our producer, Kirk.
Kurt, we can't hear you. Uh-oh.
Kirk, if you're speaking, we can't hear you on Clubhouse.
I'm not certain what's going on. Let me see. Let me see.
We got you. We
Oh,
got you.
okay. All right. Okay. I'm not certain what's going on there. My mic is. It looks like it's on. Can you
It's
hear me?
hot, man. It's hot.
Oh, you can hear me. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
You're,
right.
listen, man, your mic is hot. It was
Oh,
just too hot.
it was too
Listen,
hot.
listen, cool that thing down.
Oh my goodness. Good morning, everybody. It's good to be here. My name is Kirk Nugent. Get to serve as your producer for this room. Man, you need to get a pen and paper. You need to tap in with some friends. You need to tag some folks in the comments. I want to welcome our folks that are online as well. One of the things that I like to do is to help people who already have a growing audience, who understand the relevance of an audience, the power of an audience, to be able to grow that audience exponentially by sharing their gifts live online on different platforms. Sometimes multicasting, sometimes taking content and repurposing, but whatever that strategy is, we want to work with you. My link is here on screen, kirk10klive.com. Anything live video strategy, anything live video marketing, anything live streaming, really, anything live related. We not only help people to do this as a remote producer, like I'm doing for Don, but we also show people how to do it for themselves. So if you're a DIYer, you want to learn how to do some of this stuff, an entire catalog of information out on my YouTube channel. All those links are available on my 10K card, kirk10klive.com. I'm just going to say one last thing, and that is, Mr. 10K, how could you be in my town and not message me, brother? I would have come through. Anyway, man, listen, next time you're here, we gotta hang out.
He said something. Hey, 10K, your mic was muted. Try it again.
Now it's telling Kirk, let's blame Don.
Yeah, blame me. Blame me. Blame
Very
me.
convenient. Very convenient.
Listen,
All right.
man.
Up next is another Florida resident, Kurt Goddess. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, everyone. Grand Rising. Happy Wednesday. My name is Rose Laura Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I'm all things credit. I'm a credit score improvement strategist, business credit consultant, and I help my clients improve their credit so they can get access to funding or get that dream home, start their business, get that dream car, whatever it is, at the best and lowest interest rate. And then now I'm going to send everybody over to Don so that way we can pay them off and save on interest costs. That's what it's all about. Like he said, in a lifetime, we're spending over $300,000 in interest, and we can put that in compound interest. You know what? I want us to do the math on that, Don. How much How much in compound interest can we make out of the $300,000? I just want to know that. I just want to blow our mind. So we can figure that part out, do the math. Maybe I'll just sit here and do the math on that. We definitely have to see that, because once we see that, it's like, yo, we got to work on this. Like, we have to save and put it towards something and make more money babies. That's what it's all about. So that's what I do. That's what I do. So definitely tap in with me at creditgoddess10k.com. That's creditgoddess10k.com. Sign up for my detailed credit analysis, so that way you can see exactly where you're at, have a blueprint, so that way you can get started in improving your credit, improving your life. I'm Credit Goddess, and I'm just speaking.
Credit Goddess, that sounds like a t-shirt.
Come on
You
now.
said money babies.
Come on.
Money babies.
Money babies. That's what I'm talking about. That money should be making babies. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm telling you, you're gonna see that probably in Atlanta. But for you guys listening, I'm Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And I'm your real estate professional out the states with the S of Illinois, Florida, and Georgia. As well as if you need any commercial real estate funding, I can assist with that, as well as business purpose loans. And then after we locate that deal, fund that deal, we're gonna cancel that interest on those deals with the P.I.L.L method. So tap in with my beautiful family. I have stories about each of these people here, and it's all filled with love. We really are the real deal. And go ahead and share. Don't keep us to yourself. That wouldn't be right. So go ahead and share.
Wow, wow, wow. Jared, listen, did you hear all of that? Listen, we've got a stage here with so much talent, Jared. What does that mean? What does that mean to the Clubhouse community?
Yeah, so I mean, your hallway is filled with the people that you follow. So you definitely want to make sure that you're following all of these people on stage. They all host their own rooms, and the more people you follow that add value, the more value you get every second you're on Clubhouse. But I'm excited to get into the content. We have no hands raised yet. Very surprising. So if you want to ask about your refinance, you want to ask about your mortgage situation, if you're on track to pay it off in 30 years, if you want to ask, hey, Don, how do I get that to 7 to 10 years? How can I just transfer that interest cost to my kid's inheritance? I have a student loan debt. How can I pay that off expeditiously faster? Credit card debt. Feel free to raise your hand. If nobody wants to raise their hand, then Don, we can just have you jump into one of many examples of how you've been able to save people money through the P.I.L.L method, and that should inspire some questions to be asked.
All right, right now we're going to be putting on the screen right here, right now, a PowerPoint, and we're going to get Kurt to that out to everyone. Let me know if you are
Don,
seeing.
it looks like we have somebody that
What?
wanting to come to stage.
Come on, bring them on up here.
Smart move, smart move. All right, so CC, I'm trying to bring you up. I just invited you up. There she goes. Thank you so much for coming to the stage. Really appreciate it. Look forward to answering your question. But before you ask your question, just want to let everybody know Don is streaming this on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you're in the Clubhouse room and you can get to a computer, whether it's a laptop, an iPad, or a desktop, I would love for you to slide over to that device, type into a browser, ice10klive.com, and go ahead and choose whichever option you prefer. So that way you can see Don break down this example on screen with the numbers and the details. This will help you comprehend exactly what Don's method is and how impactful it can be for you. So definitely go to those live streams on your laptop, iPad, or computer. That way you can stay in Clubhouse as well if you want to come on stage. All right, perfect. So with that being said, Cece, you have the floor. Please let us know what your question is.
Yes, so my question is, how do I get rid of this school debt? That's like the major question I have for today.
When you say school debt, you're talking about student loans?
Like student loans, yes.
All right. So are you? Go ahead.
And I have a parent student loan, and that's really expensive.
So listen, tell us a little bit about how you feel about student loans right now, and not giving us a whole lot of personal information, but
Mhm.
tell us what that means to you to be able to, just purchase education and just having to deal with the student loans aftermath. So tell us about that a little bit.
Well, I think when I first got the parent loan, and I might have misunderstood the financial advisor that coached me in getting one for my daughter. I mean, I thought it would, not to say it should be on her, my daughter, but it's pretty much my 100% responsibility, and it's on my credit report because it has not yet been paid in full and it is delinquent. And I think it's really unfair that our students, or even us, have to pay for college, and it's so expensive to get, to go to college and pay that extreme amount. So you will be paying student debt forever, and you can't get rid of it. It seems like,
All right. So it does seem to stay around forever and forever. So what we're going to be talking about today is how we can deal with these student loans. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about how lending actually works. And are you able to see our examples on screens, Cece?
the examples,
Right.
when you type it, it comes up.
No, are you watching us on one of the streaming platforms where because we're actually showing this live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn. You can actually see what we're talking about.
Oh,
And
so
for
no, I'm just looking at it on Clubhouse, but
Hmm.
I can, get onto one of those platforms.
Right. So if do you see the link at the top? If you see the link at the top, you can put in into your tablet or computer ice10k.com and choose the one you want to watch. And we'll be able to go over that for you. So let me give you, while she's doing that, I'm going to give you a little bit of
And
back.
just a correction, ice10klive.com.
I'm sorry, ice10klive.com. I'm sorry, Cece. I get so excited. Ice10klive.com. Put that into your browser and then choose which platform you want to watch us on. I'm going to give you a little background on student loans as we go through this today, ladies and gentlemen. See, it is so easy to get student loans. I'm telling you, it is easy, easy, easy. Now, here's what I want people to kind of think about for a minute and ask good questions. Some of you know how hard it is to get a loan. Some of you have actually been turned down for a loan. Some of you know that we must keep our good credit to be able to get a loan. All right. So just would like to know, how can someone with absolutely no credit, no credit score, never even had a credit card, never even made a credit payment, how can they go to when they go to college, get loan after loan after loan and never ever get turned down? Folks, there is something going on there that I can get student loans to fund my entire college experience, not just undergrad, but getting a master and then going on to get a PhD or becoming a doctor. I can fund all of that with student loans, never ever getting turned down. How does that happen? Well, because it's a government program and these loans are guaranteed. What does that mean? That, listen, folks, if you could lend your money and be guaranteed to be paid back, would you have any fear of lending it out? And listen, and you don't even have to know the person's ability to pay it back, but you can be guaranteed that your money is secure and you will get your money back. That's what these student loan companies are facing because it's a government backed program. They lend out their money. They can make big money in interest on it, but the government guarantees that no matter what happens, you'll get your money back. So why is it that when we get these student loans and for some reason we default or can't pay, the student loan companies get their money back. But why are you still on the hook? So if you will pay anything, even just the interest on the loans, that's extra money that the student loan companies will be able to get. Do you know? I know people have been paying on their student loans faithfully with a interest, with an income based payment for the last 25 or 30 years. Who would let you pay a loan like that, where the balance is actually getting larger and you're never able to pay it off? Why? Because any money they get from you is gravy, because their money is guaranteed and they get that money back. Wow, what a system. What a business to be in. There's so many things about lending we don't know, but we need to be educated on, and that's part of what we do here at the Pill Method, is educate people. So listen, start pinging people in. You want to learn about these student loans? We're going to put that on the screen right about now. So listen, folks, we're going to be talking about what we call student loan larceny. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up. All right, there we go. And let me know when it takes a full screen there.
We can see the PowerPoint presentation.
Sides. Mhm.
All right, excellent, excellent, excellent. You know,
But it's not in presentation mode. We can see the whole PowerPoint.
oh, it's not in presentation mode. Okay, let me see how I can fix that.
Not yet.
No. Okay.
While Don is fixing that and you just entered the room or you're just tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube, you want to go to ice10klive.com to see these examples. I'm telling you, you guys, the way this works, the amortization schedule, you have to see this in real time. So please go to ice10klive.com and then pick how you want to view it.
All right, I think I know what to do now. I was focusing on the wrong screen, and then so we need to put over to screen 2. I'm sorry. There we go. All right, you should be seeing the background, and now we should be, and presentation mode is coming up.
I think we're there.
All right, thank you, sir. Listen, when Kurt Nugent talks about being able to teach you how to do this, now I'm still a novice at all of this. Kurt Nugent not only is our producer, but he's also my teacher, and I'm his student on all of this thing. And operating all of this thing was not my forte. But he says, Don, if you do this and this and this, even if I can learn it, you can learn it. You want to do presentations like this? You need to reach out to Mr. Kurt Nugent and be able to put this up. Miss CC, did you have a chance to pull this up yet? All right. I hope you're not trying to do it on your phone. But anyway, listen, we're going to go over it anyway, and we're going to do this. This is called student loan larceny, folks. And many people have seen this. So start pinging people in.
Yes.
All right, great. And so I would like to be able to ask you a few questions, if I could, along the way. Is that okay?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Miss CC. Are you watching this?
Oh, yes.
Are you watching this on your computer
Yes,
or tablet?
I'm looking at the PowerPoint or the student loan larceny
Yes.
presentation.
All right.
Yes.
So listen, we're going to ask you some questions. I'm going to get you to help me out here. So when I ask the question, I'll be asking it to you. We're going to get you to help me.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. So here's what we're talking about, folks. I had an opportunity to talk to a student, and this student had a loan of just $9,500. CC, it wasn't $95,000. It was just $9,500. Okay. It was at 6% and it was $50 payment a month. How long? Just give me a guess. I'm not asking you to do any math, but just by looking at this, how long do you think it should take to pay off $9,500 at $50 a month at 6% interest?
It's going to take at least. It's going to be over 5 years because $50 plus the interest. I don't think it's it's going to be a long time
Okay. All right.
unless you double your payments
All
or
right. So
triple your payments.
exactly. So let's take a look at this. So what I did, I asked this student the same thing because he just got out of college and he was buying a new car and wanted to know what to do. How do I pay off the loans and pay for my new car so I can start my new job? So I asked him, how long do you think it would pay? And he guessed something like you did, CC. But let me tell you the truth of the matter. And this is why people come to the Pill Method room, to get the truth about amortization, how amortization changes a 6% interest rate into something else. So here's how it breaks down. If you have a $9,500 loan at $50 a month at 6%, do you see that, CC? That's
Wow.
601 months. How many years is 601 months?
Mm.
50
Oh.
years.
Mm.
50 years.
That is crazy.
So you said 5, but we just need to put a 0 on that, CC.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so what you're experiencing is what the banking system is doing to us. Why? Because let me ask you something, CC, because you have, you've got loans. Have you ever had a class on how loans really work and how banks make their money through interest?
Never.
Never. You know what? You know who else has not? You're probably your CPA. Do you have a mortgage?
Yes.
Okay, so the person, the real estate agent, never had the class either. Neither did the mortgage professional, the loan officer that sold you your mortgage. They never had the class either.
That's true.
Okay.
Because I'm a realtor. I never had.
Oh, listen to you, Cece. Come on here. What? You listen. Listen.
Never ever.
Listen. You try. Listen. She's keeping that under wraps, folks. But she had to bring that out. And listen. And I'm telling you, they don't teach you this in real estate school. Okay.
No.
They teach you how to get people into debt, but not how to understand the debt.
Yes, definitely.
Cece, is this your first time in this room?
This is my first time.
Let me ask you, is it going to be your last time?
No. I need knowledge. I need to get out this student loan, get out of this debt.
All right, Cece, I'm going to show you some things about how the bank does this thing and how they make so much money, and try very hard not to say any bad words while I'm teaching this. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Here's what's happening with this loan. The total interest paid, if this person pays their loan $50 a month, they're going to pay back in interest $20,550 just in interest alone, CC.
Wow.
On a $9,000 loan. So the total repayment is $30,050. What?
That's crazy.
I know.
Off of 9,500?
Right. So, Cece, you know that with being a real estate agent, you know that 3 days before you close on a loan, your clients get their paperwork about their mortgage and how much the interest rate is and all of that 3 days before closing, correct?
Yes.
And then they get the interest rate, but they also get on the same page talking about the interest rate, total interest paid as a percentage of principal. You realize that now, don't you?
Yes.
The total interest paid as a percentage of principal on this loan goes from 6% to 216.316%.
Wow.
So as you're looking at these loans, as you're looking at trying to help your clients get into a house, and they look at their 3% mortgage, but you get to see, and they get to see that it really means 51.777%, and a 4% mortgage really means 71%. You see how it's, but we want to know how in the world can they do that? Okay.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to get into probably today how they do that. I'm just going to show you what we can do to disrupt their timing just by learning some basics. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So here's how this $50 payment breaks down, Miss Cece. And I need you to help me out here. So at the top of each column, we have we've got the payment, we've got principal, we got interest, we got cumulative principal, which means how we add up the principal throughout the loan, cumulative interest, how we add up the interest throughout the loan, and principal balance. Are you seeing all of that?
Yes.
So on the very first payment this student made, just graduating from college, and he made his $50 payment, so proud he could pay his bills on time. How much of that $50 payment actually went to pay down the loan? Principal.
$2.50.
And how much went to interest?
$47.50. That's robbery.
Listen, I hear the disgust.
Oh my God.
I hear the disgust in your voice.
That is robbery. $2.50, and you thinking you paying $50?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
But because you paid your $2.50 towards the loan, you owe less now. So the interest on how much you pay on the loan goes down the very next month. So what is the interest payment in month 2?
You want to know?
Yes, ma'am.
$47.49.
What?
Yes, it's just a penny below.
A penny difference.
Yes, that's it.
And so you're wondering why it takes so long. Because when you make your payment, so what we're looking at is an engine that powers a system. The system is, I want to borrow money to purchase education. And the engine and the fuel that feeds this engine is my and your money. Okay. The system, the engine is the lending system. The fuel that runs this engine is your money. Okay. So now when you have an engine and it's getting you, that purpose of that engine is to get you to a particular destination, right?
Right.
All right. So I'm putting my fuel in this car, in this engine to get me to a destination, and the destination is zero debt. I'm putting in $50 worth of fuel, but only $2.50 of the fuel actually get used. But the other $47.50 does nothing for me to get me to my destination. Doggone it.
That's crazy.
And we wonder why it takes so long. I'm putting fuel in, good fuel.
So that's the small print they don't tell us about.
Come on.
That don't make any sense.
All right. So we're going to turn this thing around, Miss Cece, because there is a weakness in this fuel system. Because it makes so much money for the bank, they chose this system, but they left the door wide open. There is a weakness in their system. We just need to know what it is, where it is, and how to exploit it to turn this whole thing around so that we can benefit from this. Would you like to know what that is today?
Yes.
Would you be happy to know that if you know what to do,
I'm sitting on the edge of my sofa.
to know that you can save the same amount of money that they're charging you in interest?
Yes.
Wow. Let's show you how to do this. So let's just say we're making the first payment on this student loan in January, which is this month. Okay. So we make our $50 payment, correct?
Yes.
We don't owe anything until next month, February. Okay. So, but I can see here my principal payment for February is how much money?
The principal for February is $2.51.
Right. Now, here's my question to you. Do I have to wait till February to give my bank or student loan company the $2.51? Do I have to wait till February?
No.
If I had it, could I give it to them in January?
Yes.
Guess what? All of that $2.51 goes to principal. So when I pay my $2, when I pay payment number 1, I'm paid down to right here, the $9,497.50. If I give the bank the $2.51 on top of that, I'm paid down to line 2.
Wow.
$9,494.99. Now, does that make sense to you? Because you know that
No.
any extra money goes to principal. You know that, right?
Right.
So any extra money goes to principal, and we can see that. So I paid them the $250, but I had to pay them the $47.50 to do that. But I give them
Wow.
any more money, I don't have to pay any more interest that month. That money goes straight to principal.
Okay.
So I'm paid down to $9,494.99. So my next student loan payment for February needs to be, now is on what line of the schedule?
March.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The payment for March actually moves up one. So
Yes.
guess what happened, Miss CC? You just eliminated one line from this student loan payment configuration for $2.51.
Hmm.
And your next payment is March's payment, where you pay $253, right?
Yes.
And $47.47.
Right.
That's what you're going to pay in February now, because March's payment moves up one. Payment number 1 is now touching payment number 3, just like that. So let me ask you this. The interest on line 2, what happened to that? The $47.49. What happened to that?
So the interest on line 2,
Mhm.
which was in the red,
Mhm.
is now in the black. So now you're positive now, paying that
Oh, see,
$2.53.
this is what most people believe. But what just happened is, by giving the bank the $2.51 early, you never have to pay the $47.49.
Hmm?
You just saved that.
Really?
Yes.
Can you explain that? I didn't get it.
One more
Sorry.
time. One more time, folks. Here we go. All right. So you pay interest based on the amount of money that you owe at the beginning of the next month.
Oh.
So if I owe up here the $9,497.50 at the beginning of the month, I have to pay them the interest based on that amount, which would be $47.49. But at the beginning of this next month, because I gave them the $2.51 early, I owe only $9,494.99. So the interest payment on this is on line 3.
Right. $2.53.
Right. So now I just skip right over the $47.49 because I made it impossible for the bank to charge me that.
Oh, I get it.
You get it?
So you're just paying the principal amount,
Yes.
and you don't even have to worry about the interest if you go ahead of time.
There
and
you
make your
go.
payments.
There you go.
Awesome.
You know what we're going to do for you? Not only help you with your student loan, we're going to make you the shero for your real estate clients, because the mortgage works the same way.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so now take a look at this. So if that's the case, so if we take a look at 1 year's worth of cumulative principal, now we're in column number 3. Do you see that?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
line 12. So if we pay the student loan company just like the student loan company wants us to for 1 year, we will pay this loan down by how much money?
$30.84.
If we look at the cumulative interest, how much will we pay in interest on this loan in just 1 year?
$569.16.
How do you feel about that?
Awesome.
Let me ask you something.
Well, maybe not so awesome.
Maybe not so awesome.
No, not awesome.
Okay, let me ask.
Go ahead.
That's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, because I think you know where I'm going with this, right?
Yes.
If I know I've got to pay the bank $30.84, do I have to pay it in 12 monthly installments?
You don't have to.
Can I give them the $30.84 all at one time on line 1?
Yes.
If I do, am I paid down to line 12 in just 1 month?
That's good. That's awesome. Now that's awesome.
And
Yeah.
if I prepay the $30.84, what happens to all the interest between line 2 and line 12?
it goes away. You're not
What?
responsible.
What?
Wow, that's good.
For $30. So you mean I can come up with $30 on top of my regular payment, give that to the bank, be paid down to line 12 in 1 month, and I don't have to pay all $569.16.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
So I'm paid down to line 12 for just $47.50, not $569.16.
Wow, that's
What
good.
what
That's good.
what if we knew that, Miss Cece?
My loan would have been paid. It would have been paid in full.
So we know we can pay extra, correct?
Yes.
We just don't know what happens when we do.
Nope.
Now that we do, I'm going to show you one more thing. One last thing with this student loan, Miss Cece.
Okay.
Okay. What if we looked at 25 payments? If we made for 2 years, 1 month, we pay this loan down by how much money if we do it the bank's way?
$66.39.
How much interest do they want for that?
$1,183.61.
How does that make you feel?
Crazy. That is just crazy. I'm sending in my $66.39.
So what do you mean you're sending in your $66.39? What do you mean?
Pay that interest up front.
You're going to pay that principal up front?
Yes.
And then save what?
I'm saving $1,183.61.
Miss Cece, are you glad you came to the Pill Method room today?
Yes, yes. I'm gonna have to pull out my amortization sheet.
Well, let me tell you something. Here's what else you need to know, because this was brought out earlier. When you pay your money, did you realize that for every dollar you pay, you can maximize the interest savings per dollar?
Never knew it. No.
So now it's not just, let's say when you pay that, you find out you could save $5 in interest for every dollar you put on here. Let's say you could do that. You can break it down to the unit cost. For every dollar, I could save 5. Wouldn't that be great?
Yes, definitely.
But
yes.
What if you didn't know that? And just by giving the money, giving any amount of money, you actually break that down. So you're only saving $3 for every dollar.
Any money saving is worth saving.
But
$5 is always great.
Right.
You know?
So, but if you don't have a way of tracking it, you don't know whether you're saving $3 or $5.
Right.
What if there was a computer program that did all of this for you and told you, out of your money, Miss Cece, here's how much money to pay. Here's what month to pay it in. Here's what day of the month to pay it on. And here's which loan to attack. And here's how much interest you're going to save. And we're going to let you know it is the most money you can save per dollar applied. How would you like to be able to do that?
That would be awesome.
That's what we provide.
Oh.
So to do that, how would you like to go? You can see that same button at the top, which is ice10klive.com. There is a button on that card that says get a savings and earnings report.
Okay.
Follow the directions. You'll get a code that you can put in to the program, and it will let you in to our financial form. Fill out the information in the financial form, and you can get a consultation, and you can know the month, day, and year you can be debt free on not just the student loan, but the mortgage and any other loans that you have.
Wow, that's awesome.
Our average client pays off their student loans in 5 to 7 years.
Wow, that's good.
They pay off all of their debt, including student loans and the mortgage, in an average of 7 to 9 years using this system.
That's awesome.
Miss Cece, what do you think?
Wonderful. 100.
Oh, listen.
Give it 100.
Listen, and you went all through that without being mad at anybody and saying bad words.
Yes.
Miss Cece, do you have any other questions for us today?
No, you did wonderful. I appreciate the knowledge.
Well, so listen, and when you contact us, we're going to show you how to do this for your real estate clients as well, and you're going to be their shero. And guess what? If they can pay off that house, not in 30 years, but they can pay it off in 7 to 9 years, they just might want to buy another house. And who they're going to come back to?
To me.
Have mercy. Thank you so much, Ms. Cece, for being here this morning. You helped out a lot of people.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
Jared, back to you, sir.
All right. Kirk, I believe we have a comment on the screen. I would love to pass it to you so you can share.
Yes, we do. We have a couple of folks in online, and one of them is Legacy Jones. Don, I think you're going to want to see this one. One of them
Okay.
is Legacy Jones, and she is working on the book, but that example put her over the edge, man. She says, "I'm ready. I am ready." So I just wanted to raise her example for you. Here we're getting it on screen just now.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, here we go. And a couple of other people have said a few things here as well. Here's Legacy Jones. She's saying, "Hey," but her comment is above here. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Oh, here it is. I had to scroll up a little further.
Okay.
The book is blowing my mind. I'm ready to learn. I can't raise my hand on Facebook, but she said, "I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to learn." So, Legacy, we just want to let you know that we are here. We see you. We're excited that you're with us today, and we're excited that you are learning. We're excited that you'll be able to take part in that example. If you do have a specific question, by all means, go ahead and ask it. But I just felt this was a great segue into sharing a little bit about what she's talking about. There may be somebody out there who's not certain what book is Legacy Jones talking about. So I wanted to give you that opportunity, Don, to share that.
Wow. Listen, folks, here's what she's talking about. Out of 33 million titles on Amazon, there's only one book that goes over the information that you've heard so far: how to understand an amortization schedule and how to defeat it. Not only how to defeat it, but how to maximize your savings. And when you maximize your savings, when we're talking about how much interest can I save per dollar, I don't want to save just $3 when I could save $6. You see, what the banking system doesn't tell you is that this is why they don't put it on your receipt when you pay extra how much interest you just saved, because then you would be able to do some figuring and come up with it. But our computer system is designed to beat the bank at their own game. They use computers, we use computers. So you know what they say, you have to fight fire with fire. There you go. If they've got a sophisticated computer system that takes a student loan at 6% and turns it into 216%, how are you going to beat them with your pencil and paper and a dime store calculator? How are you going to beat them? You can't do it. Can't do it. You can save something, but you can't save the most. You need a computer system, and this book gives you the track to run on so you can start to understand how it all comes together. And not only when you get the book, you're going to get a digital 10K card that goes along with it. Oh my goodness. I wish we could ping 10K back in here so he can tell us all about how that's valuable. But listen, I got Kenyatta, and she's going to tell you right now how you can get your digital card when you get this valuable book as a resource for you and your family. Miss Kenyatta.
So you bought a book that you can pass down for generations to come. What you want to do is screenshot that receipt, upload that receipt to i10klive.com. It's going to be on your left-hand side, maybe 2 slides down. It's going to say, "I'm ready." Step 2, you're going to upload that screenshot of receipt, and then you're going to let us know your social media handles, your email address, your phone number, everything that you want people to know about you. Let us know where you want to receive that digital card, and you will get your very own 10K card valued at $100.
Wow. Back to you, Jared.
All right. So again, if you haven't already, make sure you click the greenhouse at the top, follow the club. Also, make sure you follow Don to the left of me. Click that follow button, and then click that bell icon next to the follow button. Choose always on so that when he pops on stage, you'll be alerted. And also make sure you tap in with the Y CEO, Kirk, Credit Goddess, and Kenyatta. They all host amazing rooms, and we appreciate them for being on stage. to support. So we have about an hour left. If you weren't blown away by the student loan larceny, then you will be blown away by the mortgage example that is coming up. Now, the question is, who in the audience is going to raise their hand so they can ask about their specific situation and they can have their example be the one that helps the audience. So if you'd like to be that example, come up on stage, raise your hand, ask about your refinance, ask about, there you go, David. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so David is coming on stage to ask his question, and then we will jump into it. So again, if you're near a computer or a laptop or an iPad, you can go to ice10klive.com. You'll be able to see the live stream of this example. And oh, speak of the devil, 10K
Almost missed it.
we were just talking about you.
Yeah, Jared. So on a Wednesday, I normally co-host social media room because in this competitive environment, competition is fierce, brother. Got to keep your eyes open. But when Don pinged me and said, "Get your ass in this room, promote this book," I'm like, "Okay, Don. You know what? I'm not gonna argue with you. Okay? If you haven't spent time with Don, you don't want to argue with him. So, guys, basically as usual, I'm gonna be here to back my boy up and say, hey, the information that you're getting is good, but when you get the book and you actually read the book, you'll get a deeper understanding as to how much Don is really doing for you in your mortgage. And the more you help your mortgage situations, the more you'll be helping your family's financial situation. And with the copy of every book, guys, always remember, fill out your savings and earnings report, and most importantly, claim your free digital card. Don already prepaid for a bunch of digital cards. So when you have your digital card, guys, you will literally represent your company out there much better. Now, the part about it is this: 2022 is about how can we shift the scale from 7 to 9 years to 6 to 8 years. And what we're doing here at the House of 10K Cards is we're looking to get all the clients upgraded their card to the silver version. Because when you upgrade your card, guys, our goal is to get you an extra $200 a month in commission. And guess what you can do with that $200? You can put it towards your mortgage. When we told Don of that idea, he went crazy. And you know he's already excited on his own. So just imagine what that information did to him. So guys, if we can help you to pay off your mortgage even quicker, we're here to help. Once you get your card, just DM me the word upgrade, or you can DM me the word ICE upgrade. And we'll know you're coming directly from Don, so we can put you in the express VIP lane. With that said, back to you, Jared.
Listen, I want to tap in there before you get going, Jared, but that is so powerful because people, listen, PILL method stands for prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. What Sean is talking about is the leverage part. What can an extra $200 a month do coming from sharing your 10K card? And Sean is he's going to pay you. He's going to pay you for sharing that card. And if somebody else purchased the card, if you upgrade, and you can, let's say you could do an average of $100 to $200 a month extra coming in, and we show you how to apply that in a strategic manner to your debt. It can knock off a whole year and save you as much as $12,000 to $20,000 extra interest you don't have to pay. Wow. I'm talking about we go from 7 to 9 years on average to 6 to 8 just because of buying a book, getting a digital card, upgrading, and then using that money as well. Oh my gosh. Sean, so you mean you have the potential of helping people pay off tens of thousands of mortgages?
Absolutely, Don. When you told me what $100 or $200 a month can do to someone's overall mortgage, I was freaking flabbergasted by it. Because you've literally mastered the art of paying dollars and getting multiples in return for it. And that's just by using a sophisticated system. I mean, everyone can save money, that's fine. But maximizing the money that you're saving on, that's where I see one of your secrets reside, Don. So we're happy to be a part of it, brother.
Well, listen, thank you so much, 10K. Your product is phenomenal, and we are proud to be associated with you. Jared, back to you, sir.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's get into the next example. David, who looks like he's singing in his profile pic. Please unmic and let us know what your question is. How can we help? And David, if you have to go to the lower right-hand corner where the microphone icon is, go ahead and click that, and that way we can hear you.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Um, yeah, I was just really intrigued by the student loan example, and I was like, yo, yo, this is, yo, I'm like, what is going on? Thank you, Kirk, for mentioning this space to me. I was just like, man, this is amazing. So, my question is, I have a mortgage that's, I think I'm 13 years, and it's a 30-year fixed.
Can you speak up just a little bit for us, David?
Yeah, oh, can you hear me better?
Right. Are you using Bluetooth?
No, I'm using headphones.
Okay. All right. All right. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to find out. I'm thinking of refinancing because I'm paying, I think it's like 6%.
Hmm.
I wanted to refinance, but also bring down the number of years. Um, so refinance to like I think it's 3% now or something like that. So
Hmm.
that's better. But what I'm hearing with the pill method, I may be able to even reduce that even further. So I'm interested to find out what it is I need to do.
All right. So we're going to change screens here, David. We're going to talk about that. But basically, can I ask you a few questions first? And we're just going to do a little critical thinking. Okay?
Sure.
Because I read a book once, and the name of that book is Counsels on Stewardship. Okay. The author's name is White, and she talks about in there about interest, and if something that says if we could just take the interest on debt, okay, that we're paying on debt, and use that money instead of paying the interest, we could use the money that we're paying on the interest and use that to pay down the principal. She says the debt would stop eating, and ever eating. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
All right. So what we're going to show you something here, and this is the reason why I'm asking you this. If you refinance and the bank is offering you a way to refinance, get a lower interest rate, you believe you're saving money, correct?
Yes.
If you're saving money, who has to be losing money?
The bank?
Why would they ever be in that position?
Um, because they've already made their money.
Let me tell you something. The banks are not beholden to us, they're beholden to their shareholders. Their job is to make as much money as possible, correct?
Yes.
So
Right.
if I'm marketing something, all I have to do is make people believe that they're saving money, and I can market this thing all day long while people believe they're saving money, but in reality, I'm making much more money.
Wow.
And
Okay.
you're saying, now that I'm thinking about it, Don, now that I'm thinking about it, everybody I know has the opportunity to refinance. They do it, but nobody's ever really asked, even at my bank. Okay, wait a second now, David. Even at my own bank, all right, my own bank will offer me. I'm in a 5 or 6% loan, and my own bank will offer me 3%. I'm locked in by contract. Why would my own bank call me up and offer me 3 so that they can lose money? Why is that, David?
Well, that's a very good question, but I'm going from one bank to another. I
Okay,
was with one bank, and this is my new bank is the one that's offering me
I understand that. I understand, but
this.
I've talked to people who their own bank has offered them that, and they never asked the question. They just jumped on it with both feet. Hmm.
Yeah.
So here's what we're talking about. So I'm going to share something with you, and then maybe we can show you some examples. Are you actually watching us online as well?
Yeah, I was on YouTube.
Okay. So here's what we're going to show you. I'm going to tell you this, and then hopefully we'll have an opportunity. When you lower the interest rate, you actually make it harder to pay the loan off faster. When you lower the interest rate, you actually make it harder to pay the loan off faster. And bankers, the people who own the bank, know that. But the people who work at the bank and selling the loans, they don't. How about that?
Wow.
So let me show you an example here. Okay. So we're going to put that on, we're going to put this on the screen. And I'm going to use, as an example here, David, I'm going to use a 250,000, or should I use a $300,000 loan? What do you think? What do you think I should put in here as
Don,
an example?
I don't have your screen yet, Don.
Okay, go ahead.
And while the screen is getting set up, just want to remind everybody that if you're near a laptop, an iPad, or a desktop, you can go ahead and open up a browser so you can see it right real big and go to ice10klive.com. Choose either the YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter option so you can see this example on the screen and you can see the amortization schedule and exactly the numbers behind how he's going to save David a ton of money with this example. All right, back to you, Don.
All right, David. So I've got 250,000 in here. Should I use a different number as my example?
250 is fine.
Okay, so we got 250. We're going to put it in at 5%, okay, for 30 years. And based on what we've already learned, David, we've got 250,000 at 5%. Our payment on this, we're talking about just the principal and interest payment, is $1,342.05. So you saw the other example when we're talking about the student loan. The average interest the interest that the bank wants on a 30-year loan is $233,138 on a $250,000 loan. David, does that sound like the 233,000 is 5% of the 250,000?
No.
That's 93.255%. So the bank wants us to borrow their 250,000, but they want us to pay $233,000 interest on a $250,000 loan, which makes the real purchase price of that home $483,000 in a $250,000 neighborhood. Will we ever recoup our funds? Wow. So let's take a look at this, David.
No.
In payment number one, we have $300 going to principal, $1,041.67 going to interest. How fair is that? Yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. And based on what you've learned so far, David, let's say, again, this is January's payment where $300 goes to principal, $1,041.67 goes to interest. So in payment number two, that would be if we're starting out in January, February's principal payment. If you're seeing this, can you see this? If you're talking, you have to open your mic.
Yeah, I can't see it right now.
Okay, that's okay. I'll kind of explain it to you because you saw the other example, correct? All right. So if we pay, our February principal payment is $301.63. So if we make January's payment and also give the bank February's principal payment of $301.63, we're paid down to line 2 already. And we just saved ourselves $1,040.42 in interest by giving the bank an extra $301.63 early. How do you feel about that, sir?
feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about.
All right, so now I'm going to use the same loan here. We're going to use the same loan, and we're going to lower the interest rate on that loan. Okay? So we're going to duplicate this tab. We're going to take the same loan and lower the interest rate. Remember, when we made an extra payment, the extra payment we made was 301.63. That was number 2, the payment on line 2 of this schedule. So we're going to take this loan and lower the interest rate by 2 points. We're going to lower it to 3%. Okay, so anybody with who would get this and say, well, listen, I can save 2 points on that. I'm going to refinance and stop paying $1,300 a month. I'm going to lower my payment down to $1,054 and a penny. All right. And when I do that, I'm going to feel pretty good because I'm saving almost $300. So it's like $250 less per month. And that's what's being sold. It's going to cost me somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000 for the refinance, though, which the bank is going to roll into the loan so I don't have to pay it out of pocket, which makes it super easy to do. Okay, David, this is how it works. But they're also going to hand you a new 30-year loan. May I ask you, how long have you been in your current loan?
I've been there about 15,
Okay.
14 years.
Most people, when they get a refinance, they will get a new 30-year loan, which makes that when you add it all together, now it's 45 years.
Yeah, I was thinking though of going to either a 10 or a 15.
There you go, David. That's what most people would do. But again, that would tend to make you think you're saving money. And my question would then come back, why would a bank offer you a way to save money? There's got to be something in it for them, or they wouldn't offer it. Have you ever owned a business?
No.
Okay. But if you knew somebody who owned a business and they told you, David, I got a product on my shelf and it's not making me money, what advice would you give your friend that had a product on their shelf that wasn't making money?
Don't do it.
Exactly. So if your bank was offering people 10 and 15-year mortgages that they were losing money on, would they stop doing it?
I suppose so.
Okay. But they're not losing money on it because they're still doing it. By lowering the interest rate and lowering your term, you make it harder to pay off the loan early. So we take 30-year mortgages and help people to pay them off in 7. If I can take a 30-year mortgage to pay it off and help them to pay it off in an average of 7 to 9 years, why would I ever get a 15-year mortgage? Because they pay off in the same amount of time on our system.
I guess. Well, I mean, the principal. Well, I guess, yeah, you were right.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's take a look at this principal payment now on this 3% loan. Now remember, my extra payment on the other loan was 301.63 on line 2. So on this new loan, when I lower the interest rate, my principal payment has jumped to $430.08. To do the same thing, to eliminate one line from my mortgage, it's going to cost me $430.08 to eliminate one line from my mortgage, not $300 and 301.63. So if I was going to make some headway on this loan, because when we pay extra, we only pay the principal payments. If I make my principal payment larger, am I now making it harder to pay the loan off early?
No, it's easier to pay it off early.
Really? So if I'm going to eliminate one line from my schedule, Is it easier to come up with $300 or easier to come up with $400?
Oh, it's easier to come up with 300.
And if the $300 is going to eliminate one line from my schedule, and the $400 payment is going to eliminate one line from my schedule, which one would I rather use?
The 300.
And it's at the higher interest rate. I know it's a lot to take in, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. All right. I'm looking now at 1 year's, looking at my cumulative principal for 1 year at the 5% level. $3,688.34. If I prepay that, David, I'm going to knock off 1 year off this loan. If I can, let's say I had $3,688. I would, if I could prepay that, I would knock off 1 year worth of payments. Okay. But at the 3% level, the $3,600, I only knock off about 8 payments instead of 12. Do you see that my money doesn't go as far as helping me pay off the loan and eliminate payments when I lower the interest rate?
Yeah, I see it.
And that's what the banks aren't telling us. Now, here's what I'm also saying. Am I saying that it's never a good idea to refinance? I am not saying that at all. What I am saying is that if you are going to refinance, answer the pertinent question. And the question is this: how much interest am I going to pay overall to eliminate this mortgage? Not what my payment is going to be, not what my interest rate is going to be, but what is going to be my interest cost in eliminating this loan. I do not want to be short-sighted looking at my smaller payment, looking at my lower term, and then end up paying more interest because I make it harder to pay off the loan. See, when most people do this, David, when most people do what they can to lower their interest rate and lower their term, they don't do anything extra. I got it down to a 10-year payment, and I've got my payment down smaller, and I've got it down to 10 years. But the person with a 30-year loan is out of debt in 7. You still have 3 years left.
You can't see me shaking my head, but I'm shaking my head.
So this is how we get fooled into this thing. So the bottom line is going to be this: when we do the math, you will know whether it's going to be a good idea to refinance or stay in the loan that you are and save interest there by understanding how amortization works and how to beat the bank at their own game. David, does that make sense to you?
Man, you setting people free with this thing, man. You are setting people free.
What state do you live in, David?
I live in Massachusetts.
Oh, wow. Okay. So listen, man, we're doing this in every state in the union. Folks are finding out all over the place that they can cut their interest costs by 75%, not just with their current situation, but they can do it, David, without changing their budget and without sacrificing lifestyle. What does that mean? You don't have to eat beans and rice. Now, I heard the kind of little accent there. I love beans and rice, or rice and peas, depending on where you come from, but not every day.
Talking to me now.
Okay.
Talking to me now.
But not every day. Okay. You don't have to do that. You don't have to eat ramen. You don't have to drive a 30-year-old car. You don't have to stay at home and not go anywhere, not do anything. Sell pizza at night and then take all the money and throw it at the debt. We're going to show you how you can live well, save money with your current budget, and be able to get out of debt in 7 to 9 years by saving on the interest side, not cutting your family's lifestyle back so you can take that money and throw it at the debt. How would you like that, sir?
That sounds amazing.
All right. So at the top of the screen, you see the our link up there. It's ice10klive.com. If you will click on that link or type it into your browser, ice10klive.com. ICE stands for Interest Cancellation Expert, by the way. And if you do that, you can follow the directions. You will get a code. When you get that code, type the code into the space provided, and it will let you into our financial form. Put all your information in there. Someone from my staff will set up a consultation, and you can know the month, day, and year you can be debt free and how much interest you can save. And we'll also talk about that interest saved. We can show you how you can invest that into your family to grow generational wealth. And if you've read the Bible at any time, you know that we are under a mandate to set aside money for our children's children. And how can we do that if we're spending it all on interest?
Thank you. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. I have already downloaded the book to my Kindle and getting ready to upload that form right now.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming in, David. You listen, you've helped a ton of people today. Have mercy. Thank you so much, sir. And I'm looking forward to talking to you in the future. Jared, back to you. We got a couple of more mods in here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, if that didn't inspire you to raise your hand and come on stage, I don't know what will. So, we have 30 minutes left. We'd love for you to raise your hand and come on stage, ask a question, and get some value. But real quickly, I would love for Sheila and Onaje to let people know who they are, what kind of rooms they do, and how they add value. So, Sheila, I'll pass the mic to you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. How are you guys doing? My name is Sheila, and I am in the credit space. I've been in the credit space since 2004. I help individuals repair their credit. I also show them how to start a credit repair business, and I also show them how to do it themselves. So you have options with me. You can check me out on YouTube if you like. You just Google my name. I'm also in the trucking space. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns in reference to credit, how I can help you, especially obtain this mortgage, then just holler at me. And I really appreciate you guys adding me to the stage. Thank you.
Awesome. And for the folks that are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter, you can find her at Shelia, Shelia Lightford, like Light Ford, on YouTube. So check her out. All right, perfect. Next up is Onaje, man. Thanks for coming through.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Onaje Barnes, a long-term buy and hold real estate investor, single family, multifamily. Just wanted to pop in and share the on stage and just support the room. Don, admittedly, I saw one of your first videos last night, and there were a couple of strategies that I knew worked. I don't know which video I watched, but it was one, just talking about car payments and doing them once a week versus once a month, which is something we've employed. So I wanted to come in and give you your flowers and just support the room and be a fly on the wall.
Awesome, Onaje. Really appreciate that. Make sure you follow Shelia and Onaje, as well as Kenyatta, Credit Goddess, Kirk, YCEO. And most importantly, if you haven't already, make sure you're following Don. If he comes on Clubhouse, he's only talking about the P.I.L.L method or ways to save money, or he's in rooms with people like Onaje and everybody else that is doing the same thing. So click the green house, follow the club, and check in with us Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern time, and Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. All right, cool. So Joshua, thank you for coming to the stage. Please let us know what your question is.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you. Go right ahead.
All right. Well, me and my fiance was just listening. I'm just hopping in, kind of got me with the P.I.L.L method, how you named it. It's how to pay off your mortgage in 7 years. We're in the process of getting our first home together.
Mm-hmm.
But not only just that, just I'm at an age where I'm coming out of the typhoon of financial illiteracy in my 20s, and I'm financially pretty well off. I'm just got so many things I got to sweep up, and I just followed a couple of y'all on here. I just needed so much advice to the point I don't want to be on the mic so long. I'm gonna just follow y'all. If y'all can like contact me, and I need help with credit. I need help with learning about corporations. I need help with so much stuff because I'm in the method of making cartoons and in the realm of NFTs. And there's so much that I need to be caught up to speed with. Uh, I'm thankful to be on Clubhouse and avenues like this. I can get up up to speed. I just want you guys to know that we're listening. Thank y'all for doing what y'all doing because there's a lot of people that need this information.
Wow, thank you very much, Joshua. Appreciate you coming to the stage and sharing with us, and also thank you, Sheila, for popping in, and Anaje, thank you for coming in. So we've been listening to you for a long time, and I've been in this space since April of last year. So we're coming up on our 1 year, and I've heard you many times. You bring valuable information to this space, and we thank you for that. Jared, back to you, sir.
All right, so we have 30 minutes left. We'd love to get some more questions in. So feel free to raise your hand, come to the stage, and if nobody comes to the stage, Don, maybe you can give an example. That would be helpful.
All right, great. So let's go ahead and put something else on the screen here. Since we have some real estate investors in the room, so let's talk about that for just a minute. By putting that on the screen. So right now I have a client here who read the book and who came in and said, you know what, gave me a call and said, here's my situation. And this is an experienced investor. I mean, right here in Huntsville, Alabama. If you're in Alabama, in Huntsville, and you are in business, you know this guy's name. And so when he called, it was a shocker to me. So anyway, he says, here's what I've got. All right. We make plenty of money on these buildings. I've been doing this for a long time, and making money is not the problem. But when I read your book, I realized that I had been paying attention to the interest cost on these loans. So here's what we have here. So on one of the loans he has, in 2 months, okay, on this particular loan, he's paid it down by $7,374.92, but it cost him $4,609 in interest. So he's looking at that now. He's saying, yeah, I've got the equity, but I'm now looking at the interest cost on the loans and seeing what I can do about that. He has an SBA loan, all right? And these buildings this is multiple units making good money. And so now we are the total amount that he's paying out on these loans is about $14,000 a month. But the amount of rent that he's bringing in on these buildings is just over $40,000 a month. So he's doing quite well. Bought it right, making money, doing everything he was supposed to do. But he takes a look at this loan on the SBA loan at 5%, which is over $1 million. Okay. And in 37 months, he's paid it down by $99,795.91. What? Because he's getting the rents. All right. But he now realizes he's paid $222,252.09 in interest on that loan. Wow. That's a lot of interest to pay for $99,000 in equity he just created by making those payments. That's well over $320,000 paid out to get $99,000 in equity. He's looking at that differently now. Okay. So now here's the thing. In 60 months on these two loans, he will pay them both down by $409,000. He's going to pay it down by $409,000. But it's going to cost him $472,000 in interest to get that. That's his interest cost on these loans. So by by helping him out here and putting this in our system. Look at this. He owes the total amount on the loans is $2,236,376. He's going to be able to just making the minimum payments. He's going to be able to pay that down, pay it off in 21.9 years. But here's his interest cost: $1,123,195. When we look at the total interest cost, okay, and he says, "All right, we're going to show him how to pay out only $243,000 in costs to pay off the $2,236,000 that he owes, and do it in 4.9 years." Now, let's look at the bigger picture here. Okay. Remember, I said his total interest, his income is over $40,000. Okay. And his mortgage payments are about $14,000. But he says, "Don, I have earmarked out of that money so much of that money that's going to go back into investments. Can't touch that. But I'm putting aside in my reserve account about $6,000 a month in my reserve account so that we can make sure we can do maintenance on these buildings." And I said, "Okay." And he says, "Don, out of my reserve account, based on what I read in your book, let's see how we can maximize the use of that money, because it's sitting in the bank making about 0.1% in my reserve account." So by doing that, folks, what we can do is, let me show you, if we were to pay it off, pay the buildings off, we could do it in 4.9 years, saving $891,000 in interest he no longer has to pay, and show him how he can take his interest savings and turn it into, over the next 18 years or so, using compound interest, over $9 million. So he's now looking at the interest cost on these loans a little more differently, not just as the cost of doing business, but using money. Watch this now. I'm going to put up, let me put up a loan on the screen. I'm going to change screens here. Boom, boom, boom. As we're changing screens, we're going to stop that and put up a new one and share screen. Boy, I'm so glad Kurt taught me how to do this, because it just makes it so easy to show you all everything. So we're going to put in $1,500,000. Okay, and let's see, what was our interest rate on this other screen? 5%. Okay, we're going to put it in at 5. And it's not 360 payments, it's 300 payments. Okay, that's commercial. We take that out, take the payment out, and there we go. So this is over 25 years. Here's his payment on this building, $8,768.85. So as we look at this, on this $1.5 million building, the interest paid on this would be $1,130,655, which is 75% of the borrowed principal. So we take a look at this loan on the very first schedule here. And if you're new to the room, you want to see this. Miss Kenyatta, help the folks see what we're talking about, especially if they are real estate investors new to our room this morning. Or Jarrett.
All right. Yeah, so if you're an iPad or a laptop or a desktop, go ahead and open up a browser, type in ice10klive.com. When you click that, you can go into either YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, whichever one you prefer. Click that option. You'll be able to see Don actually have this up on the screen with the numbers, and it'll help you understand this example much better. If you are not near a laptop or an iPad or a desktop, then you can just click the link above our head, choose the option, they'll kick you out of Clubhouse, but you'll be able to see the example. And for this one, I think seeing it is better than just hearing it. But if you can still stay in Clubhouse, please go to a laptop, iPad, or desktop. And also, there's a little circular arrow button at the bottom left-hand corner. Please go ahead and click that, share this room so that more people can see this example, as well as pinging people into the room. All right, back to you, Don.
Thank you, Jared. So what we're going to be talking about, folks, is not specifically what we're doing with this particular businessman. We're just giving you some overall ideas on how interest cancellation works and how we can use what we call lazy money or dormant money that's sitting on the sidelines for a specific purpose. We are not, and I want to repeat, we are not taking monies that are earmarked for growing this businessman's portfolio. We're not using that money to save money. We're using that money to invest, to reinvest, to make more money. But he has some money on the side. Let's see how we can best use that. And I'm giving you some examples. And I repeat, this is an example. This isn't exactly what we're telling him to do, because our computer system tells him, just like a financial GPS, how much money to move, what month to move it in, because we don't do this every month, only at certain times during the year. What month to move it in, what day of the month to do it on, and which loan to attack, so that not only can we save interest, but we're saving the maximum amount of interest per dollar applied. What does that mean? If it is possible to know that I can save $6 in interest for every dollar applied, why would I ever accept 4 or 5? And the reason why we don't pay attention to that is because we're not tracking interest cost, when we're not tracking interest savings throughout the life of the loan. We're going to be doing that differently now. So here's what we have on the screen, folks. We have $1.5 million at 5% for 300 months. That's 25 years. Okay. And the payment on that is $8,768.85. The total interest paid on that is $1,130,000. So the total purchase price, I like to think of it as the total purchase price that the bank would love for us to pay, would be $2,630,655 on the $1.5 million loan. But he's making money on this. Got 2 loans, total cost $14,000 a month, but he's cash flowing over 40 grand a month. So here's what we have. On the very first payment, $2,518.85 goes to principal, $6,250 in interest that month. Let's take a look at cumulative principal now and cumulative interest. All right. So to move the loan from point A to point B, where we owe 1.5 million, that's point A. And then let's say we want to move it down to point B, which is line 12 on the amortization schedule, where we owe $1,469,000. Okay. Point A, point B. If we do it the bank's way, we're making our payment on time every month. Okay. And to do that, we will pay this loan down by $30,928.60. But look, it costs $74,297.60 to do that. Okay. To do that, to move it down from point A to point B, it costs $74,000 in interest to do that. So here's my question to the businessman. All right. And now remember, this is an example. This isn't exactly what we told him to do. But if I take a look at the $30,000, $30,928 he would normally pay the loan down by in 1 year, let me ask him this question. He has in his reserve fund over $100,000. I'm going to ask him, would it be possible, as an example, would it be possible to borrow from yourself $30,000 out of that reserve fund that's making 0.1% and advance it to this loan as a prepayment? Make his regular payment and give the rest of this money, $30,928. If he did that on line 1, guess what, folks? We're paid down to line 12 in 1 month, not 12 months. We're advancing the mortgage by doing a prepayment with monies that are sitting on the sideline. If we do that, look what happens. We're paid down to line 12 in 1 month. And if we do that, it doesn't cost us $74,000 to move the loan from point A to point B. It only cost us the interest on line 1, $6,250. So, in other words, we just saved ourselves by borrowing money from himself. He just saved himself $68,165.48. Now, what if he just says, I'm just going to sit on this now and I'm going to put that money back out of the rents I received. And remember, he says, you can use about $6,000 of that money that I'm setting aside. If we take $30,000 out and we're putting money back in at 6,000, how long is it going to take him to pay himself back out of rents received out of a percentage that he's already pre-designated? About 5 months. Then, folks, could he do that again if he wanted to? And then 5 months later, do it again? And what if his goal is not to pay the building off, but to cash out refi? Look at this. Let's say he wants to take out $100,000 out of this building, out of refi, and take $100,000 out to purchase something else. Okay. It would take him 37 months to bring it down naturally. And now this is going to be apart from using market conditions to help create equity. We're just saying just by making minimum payments to the loan. Okay. So if we did this, to cash out refi, it would take 37 months. But look how much interest he would pay to get it. $223,908.03 in interest to get down to where we could have $100,000 in equity to pull out. But what if we could do a system like this? Instead of taking 3 years to get here, what if we could do it in a year and a half using something like this at a much lower interest cost, where we could pull out the $100,000? Or if we wanted to pull out $200,000, we could do it several years early. Track the interest savings, because here's what you got to ask yourself. How much is it going to cost me to accrue this equity? Even at the 5-year mark, to accrue $171,000 in equity by paying down the loan, it would cost $354,000 in interest. What if we could accrue the same equity in about 2.5 years at 1/3 the cost? Now we are accruing equity. We're getting our equity at a much lower interest cost. And if we track that, what could we do with the $200,000 in interest we didn't have to pay to get the same amount of equity? Lord have mercy. We could invest that too, and just blow our numbers and creating profitability right out of the water by using interest money we no longer have to pay the bank. Stop treating this interest, even at low interest rates. Stop treating this interest as the cost of doing business, and look at it as another place to save money to invest as well. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this example. Jared, back to you. Do we have any questions or comments anywhere?
Kirk, Najee, please jump in.
Hey, question. I'm assuming you have you, as this strategy, can you use maybe other lines of credit, other maybe introductory credit card type of situations where you got the 0% interest Is that part of your method? Is that something that you've seen people do?
That's something that can be done, and you're singing my song. So here's what we're talking about, Anaje. If you're using a line of credit here, all right, to do this, all you have to do is make sure you're paying attention to how much it costs to use that money. And so, Anaje, you're talking about an arbitrage situation.
Yes.
Okay. So if I'm paying attention to what it costs me to use somebody else's money, I use their money. And if I could get it at an introductory rate, I could pay 0% interest, or even if I'm paying some interest, I would just pay attention to how much interest I'm paying to get the amount of interest that I'm saving. And that is the arbitrage method here. So if I could, let's go back to this original thing where I could borrow, let's say I could borrow $30,000. Okay. I borrowed $30,000 for 1 year. It cost me 10% interest. So to the uninitiated, somebody say, well, why would I ever put 10% money on a 5% loan? But they're not doing the math. If I could borrow $30,000 for 1 year at 10% interest, that means it's going to cost me what? $3,000 to borrow that. And what if I could pay it back in a year? I could borrow that. It was going to cost me $3,000 to borrow the 30 grand. But if I apply that to the mortgage, it's going to save me $68,000 in interest. Anaje, is that what you're talking about?
That is. It's interesting. You know, I, I'm familiar with this concept, but years ago, I just haven't heard anybody talk about it. So, if you don't apply something or talk to people who are doing it, you kind of forget these strategies. But I appreciate it. Appreciate the value you're bringing, Don.
Well, listen, from your point of view, Anaje, as a long-term buy and hold investor, you're in Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
Oh, you're in Houston. Okay. And so, folks, he's been doing this a long time. And I've talked to people who met him face to face, and he's, and the way that they do it, and I don't use this language, but they say he's doing the damn thing. I mean, I don't use that language, but that's what they said. What would this mean to a buy and hold investor? Najee, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal. At the end of the day, I mean, we're chasing equity long term. We're chasing cash flow. This obviously helps with the equity portion. And at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I mean, yes, understanding, interest and how much it truly costs. I mean, that's something that stays on my mind. I guess my next follow up is I'd just be interested to hear some strategies on with dealing with banks and lenders that do not accept partial payments. But yeah, this is huge.
Yeah, listen, I would love to have that conversation with you, Najee, and I appreciate you coming to the stage. Jared, back to you, sir.
All right, Kirk, I believe we have a question in the chat. And to the person that said they messaged me, Kirk, I just messaged them back. So they're taken care of.
All right, cool. Yeah, so Dr. Chaz was saying that she wanted to contact. But yes, Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas is online. They're watching with us. I think Mike is on YouTube. Don. Mike Thomas says, how does one use the P.I.L.L method effectively? I have purchased the book and found our amortization schedule, and I'm trying to find the calculator. I think he's talking about the opportunity cost calculator, John. This is a great question.
Well, listen, the opportunity cost calculator, to be able to get that. See, you can't go to our website and just purchase, because we actually offer coaching that goes along with it, and we have customer service. And not everyone benefits from our program. This is not something we sell to everybody. We first do an analysis, and then you can get a savings and earnings report. You want to know how much interest you can save, and then when you're going to be debt free. And does that work in your system or in the way that you have your long and short term goals? Is that going to fit in there? So if somebody has, if they paid into their mortgage for so many years, and they're not going, this is their forever home, and they'll have maybe 10 years left, they may not have enough interest left to save to justify getting the program. So this is what we're doing. So we're going to show you by going to ice10klive.com, clicking on the button. You're going to be able to a button that says get a savings and earnings report. You're going to be able to know how this can benefit you. It is not just enough to save interest. Are you saving enough interest to justify getting in getting in our program? And if you are, then you will be able to see the month and year you're going to be debt free, how much interest you can save, and then we're going to show you what percentage of that interest you're saving pays for this program. What does that mean? You mean that money I was formerly paying the bank actually is going to pay for the program, and I get to keep a tremendous amount of that interest. Oh my gosh. So folks, we're talking about a tiny piece of the interest you're saving pays for a lifetime program. What does that mean? I have a guy who's now who came on our program in 2008, paid off his first mortgage in 6.5 years. All right, by the time he was 30. In next year, he'll be paying off his fourth mortgage on his lifetime program. He hasn't paid us an extra dime. And he's paying off his fourth house. This is what we're talking about, folks. I absolutely love what we're doing. And I hope that answers that question. So to get access to the calculator, do your get your savings and earnings report. And then if you like what we're telling you, we will introduce you to the calculator, and you can then purchase at that time when it makes sense to you. Okay. All right. Who's
That's
next?
good. That's good.
Anybody
Uh,
else?
well, Mike Thomas was just responding back to you, but no, there are no questions online, but there is some robust conversation. We love seeing your comments out there. Legacy Jones came back again saying, I am striving to explain this to my wife. I can't wait till she sees and understand this concept. She worked in a bank and does not understand it. He finds himself right in the same space that some of the others had been talking about earlier. So yeah, we just have some good, robust conversation happening online. People responding to your examples and to some of the other things that we've heard from others. CC Cooper, who you spoke to earlier, is online as well, and she just says this was an awesome experience. So we're just thanking her for her example that she shared with us as well.
Wow. And because of you, Kurt, so that the gentleman who is trying to explain it to his wife doesn't have to, they're privy to the replay because of you.
That's right. That's
And they
right.
can choose whatever platform they want to watch it on.
That is correct. That is correct. We want to put this value out there in as many platforms and as many venues as we possibly can, because you never can tell. You know, if you're a Twitter person, then you watch on Twitter. We want to make sure we're there. If you're on Facebook, we want to make sure you're there. If we're on LinkedIn, we want to make sure you're there too. And so, and then of course, you know, with Wise CEO, we've got a couple other networks that are there as well. And then we want to make sure our Clubhouse family is taken care of as well. So this is a unique scenario that we've been able to create in this space, and we're excited.
Well, excellent. Jared, sir, back to you.
All right, we had a question, but they dropped off, so I
Okay.
guess we are done for the day.
Yes, let's go ahead and let's do our outros and get ready for what's going to be happening on this what's today? Wednesday? Okay, we'll
Today's
be right
Wednesday.
back here. Yeah, we'll be right back here Friday doing the same thing, folks. We're going to be answering questions. And listen, you guys make the show. We don't make the show. You make the show by bringing your questions and adding the valuable content to the show. And we appreciate all of you. Okay, Jared.
All right. So if you haven't already, make sure you click that greenhouse at the top and follow the club. Also, if you know somebody in your Clubhouse network you think would get value from this club, feel free to click the add member button and send it out to whoever you think could benefit from the information you learned today. We do this room Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So feel free to come in early and often and share this room with as many people as possible. Also, if you click the link above, ice10klive.com, you can follow Don on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Each community gets, special information from Don, so you definitely don't want to miss out if you are using those platforms. Lastly, make sure to go ahead and click on Don's profile. Give this dude a follow. He's always adding value. Click the bell icon next to the follow button and choose always on, so that when he comes on a stage, you'll be alerted and you'll be able to hear more P.I.L.L method examples outside the club in other rooms on Clubhouse, as well as see some amazing real estate finance professionals that he frequents with on this app. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is go through moderator outros. But before we do that, Don, I would like for you just to let people know one more time, if they want to get in touch with you, how to do so, and then also a little bit about your book and why it's valuable.
All right, folks, let's go ahead and pin that other link up to the top. Where we're going to be in Atlanta and on the Get Access Tour. Let's put that up. So, folks, right now, you just heard a lot of valuable content for free. So what we're going to do now is talk about how you can learn how to manage all of your debt, all of your finances, and get this new information on financial literacy, the new financial literacy that you can't get anywhere else. And you can only get it here by and you can click on the ice10klive.com. By doing that, you can then hit that button that says get a savings and earnings report. Follow the instructions, get your code that will let you into the financial form, fill it out, and then someone from my staff will be getting back to you, usually within 48 hours or so, and then set up a consultation for you. And you can know the month, day, and year you're debt free and the amount of interest you can save. All right. Also, go ahead and use the same link to buy the book. And once you get this valuable resource, you can not only want to give it to yourself, but I've talked to many people who have bought several copies, 10 copies, 20 copies to give away to family and friends. And they also asked the question, if I buy several copies, can I get several digital cards to go along with those copies for free to give away as gifts as well? You most certainly can. So Kenyatta, can you tell them how they can get their 10K cards for however many copies of the book they buy?
So you bought 100 books, you get 110K cards. That's how it goes. What you want to do is screenshot that receipt. Go to ice10klive.com. Click the link that says I'm ready. It's going to be on the left-hand side, the second one down. You're going to upload that screenshot receipt, and you're going to designate a place for us to send it, but not before letting us know your social media handles, your email address, and your phone number. We will deliver it to you, and 10K is diligent. His team is amazing. You'll get one in an hour or less. A very special digital card valued at $100.
All right. Thank you. All right, Jared, back to you, sir.
All right, cool. And then one more link that I'd like you to talk about before we get into everything else. So I got a chance to meet Kenyatta and Don and a bunch of amazing professionals in Miami, and really awesome experience. So I would love for you to be able to experience what I experienced, which is Don in person. So real quick, I'm going to update the link at the top. And let people know what's going on in Atlanta.
All right, in Atlanta. So listen here, folks. We have several different things that we're doing differently this time. We have the basic ticket level all the way up to the VIP experience. And then you can see us live in Atlanta on the 18th and 19th of next month. So get your ticket early, and then meet us there in Atlanta. And not only will you be able to get the pill method, but you're going to be getting tons of information on real estate, on banking, on insurance, on becoming your own bank. We're going to be talking about how to leverage business credit, how short-term rentals, all sorts of information right there in in a small package of several different speakers. You absolutely don't want to miss this. And there's going to be a special guest that's coming through that you don't want to miss. The special guest this last month was Grant Cardone. Okay. The first time we ever did this experience, the Get Access Tour, and Grant Cardone shows up. This is the kind of information and quality and clout we're bringing to this space, and we want to see you in the place. All right. Thank you very much, Jared.
All right, all right. So with that being said, we're going to go through moderator outros. So yeah, just keep in mind that we're streaming this on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, so they won't be able to see your Clubhouse profile or your name. So make sure to let people know how to get in touch with you. All right, and if we can keep it between 30 to 60 seconds, that'll help so that Don can get to his clients, and we can all get to our Wednesday. All right, cool. So Vernita is up first. If you're not following her on Clubhouse, I highly recommend it. A lot of substance, a lot of value. Check out the replays. But Vernita, please introduce yourself.
Thank you for that, Jared. Grand Rising, and Don, it's so great to be back in this room.
Yes.
Happy New Year, everyone. Vernita Adele tapping in. I will just say I believe Black people thriving, and so I love this space because part of that thriving is not only physical, mental, and emotional, but financial. And so in the work that I do, I am an anti-racist. I do anti-racist work as a consultant and executive producer. And I look forward to continuing the work to ensure that Black people thrive. Vernita Dunn speaking. I'll pass it back to you, Jared.
All right, and next is Julia.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Sheila Lightford. I am in the credit space. I help individuals fix their credit. I help them start credit repair businesses, and I also repair their credit as well. You can find me on YouTube at The Credit Tea with Sheila Lightford, and it's SHELIA Lightford. I'm also on Facebook. I have a Facebook group that will assist with credit. It is Credit Repair Help DIY Future 700 Club. You could also find me on Instagram at She's a Credit Coach. So again, thanks for inviting me. Make sure you guys follow this clubhouse and the moderators as well with the P.I.L.L method.
Awesome. Thanks for coming through. You're welcome anytime. Up next is Kenyatta.
Okay, good people. As always, we appreciate your presence and pray that we've earned the privilege of your time. I'm Kenyatta. If you want to tap in with me, you can find me at kenyatta10k.com. Again, I'm your real estate professional out the states of Illinois, Georgia, and Florida, as well as assisting you with your commercial deals and your business purpose deals. Tap in.
All right, cool. Up next is Credit Goddess.
Hey, everyone. Wonderful room. As always, always an honor to sit amongst Don and Jared and everyone else to share this information with you guys. If any of you guys are interested in my services, I offer both personal and business credit, DIY and through services. Definitely tap into creditgoddess10k.com, or you guys can DM me on my Instagram. That's Your Credit Goddess, or on Facebook, Your Credit Goddess as well. And yeah, that's about it. But thank you guys so much for having me here, and see you guys on Friday.
All right, up next is Kurt.
All right, everybody. It's good to be here. We've had a phenomenal room today. Excited by all the people that we had join us online as well. My name is Kirk Nugent, former missionary and IT exec turned content creator and live video coach. I've been given the title Geek Speaker Preacher, and it really embodies my passions: technology, media, speaking, and ministry. While I'm growing intentionally on a number of social media platforms, my primary focus right about now is on YouTube, youtube.com/KirkRNugent. That's where I get to teach small businesses, entrepreneurs, and faith-based entities how to harness the power of live video. Your live stream is your digital storefront, and there's no greater way for people to experience your greatness than for them to see you do it live. Don Daniel is a perfect example of that, and we're excited to partner with the P.I.L.L method. If you want to learn how to harness the power of live video, tap in with me at kirk10klive.com. Thank you.
All right, up next is the man, the myth, the legend, 10K Cards.
10K, if you would please also highlight the upcoming event in Atlanta, please, along with your outro.
So easy, Don. That's Don. Why didn't you give me something a little more complicated? Come on, man. Hey, guys, look. First of all, it's always a pleasure being in the house of greatness. And with regards to what Don just mentioned, being on the app is cool. Getting information here is great. But when you actually make the investment to go to the different cities and actually rub elbow with the speakers, you'll be amazed to see what you can achieve. So don't just be isolated only to the app, guys. Make the trip, make the investment. If you can go to the different cities, hop on the virtual aspect and be a part of the events, guys. You're going to hear extra information that you wouldn't necessarily hear on the app that will literally trigger something within you to make the moves that's going to be necessary for you and your family to move forward. We have the live tour coming up in Atlanta. The information is at the top of the link there. I'm going to make sure it's on all of Don's card as well, on all of our links, because Don has just become a part of the Get Access movement. And the goal is to move this information from city to city, guys, so we can keep spreading the word. I'm Sean Lashley, the founder of 10K Cards and Savage Marketing. And if you don't already have a 10K card, I apologize. Get in touch with us. Let's take care of that. Number two, if you have a business or you are a professional and you need help in marketing your business, get in touch with us. Just text me the word marketing. We're going to set up a discovery call and start putting you on track. Our goal is not to do the work for you, but to connect you with the professionals who can serve you at the highest capacity. And with that, we'll be working with Kurt as well, because live streaming is a part of success, guys. And if you want to win big, tap in with 10K/Savage Marketing. With that said, back to you, Don and Jared.
Awesome, 10K. And I sent you a text message so that, regarding the 10K card. Yep. All right, up next is the Y CEO.
Hi, everyone. I had to get out of a meeting. I'm Tiffany, the Y CEO. I'm an executive business coach. I'm a corporate strategist. I operate in the high net worth multi-use commercial space. I've been doing finance for over 20 years now, raised two amazing kings. And I'm always here to support when it comes to financial freedom, because I'm a financial freedom advocate and I've got proof, I've got evidence. Not only do I have a master's degree, I've also changed the laws in the great state of Ohio at the Supreme Court level. So I advise you to definitely follow us, because there's a lot of people on this app who aren't who they say they are. And having only been here for several months, I can tell you, since August, I can tell you that there are people here who really care about you. So make sure that you are in this room, you bring your friends here, because you will get valuable information that is trustworthy, research worthy. And I'm all about that evidence. So hit me up at ICEOtext.com if you want to tap in. Thank you so much for having me again, Don.
You are so welcome.
All right. And my name's Jared Albrighton. Been in tech since 2006. My passion is getting people in tech, especially increasing diversity in tech, getting more people that look like me, getting more women in tech. So I host a lot of rooms where people can shoot their shot at recruiters like Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, etc. I've had over 100 people get placed in tech roles through these rooms. And in 2022, my passion is to get more Black founders funded. So I'm working with 10X Incubator. You might have heard this guy named Grant Cardone. He's one of my partners, and we have a ton of resources that we want to deploy to tech, innovators, tech, founders, tech inventors. So if you go to my Twitter or you go to my Instagram, you'll see a link in my bio. You'll see a video of me explaining exactly what we do and how we do it. If you feel compelled to work with us, go ahead and submit your pitch, and I will make sure that it gets elevated to Grant and Jared, and then we can do due diligence and see if it's a right fit. That being said, definitely follow me on Twitter. Doing a lot of great things on Twitter Spaces, and I might be bringing Don over there sometime soon.
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, make sure you follow Don before we go. Click his profile, click the follow button, click that bell, and make sure you tap in with them. So with that being said, Don, I'm gonna pass it to you.
All right, folks, listen, we're wrapping this up for today. I want to thank you
You're
for
on mute if you're speaking.
Okay, thank you for that, Jared. Listen, folks, we're wrapping things up for today. I want to thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to spend your time with us. And I pray that you have learned something that not only that you can use, that you can share with others. We're looking forward to seeing you again on Friday at the same time. And then go ahead and talk to people about it. Share this with your social media groups, and then like our stuff, and subscribe and click those notification bells so you'll always know when we are going to be either on social media, on video, or on this audio platform called Clubhouse. We want to thank you again and again and again for being here. We're looking forward to seeing you Friday. We're looking forward to sharing more information with you. Okay, Kurt, take us out.